Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you what it's like to live a day in my life. The first thing I do, I wake up in the morning. It is usually around 7 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later, it really depends. And usually also in the summertime, I like to wake up a bit earlier, maybe go outside and go for a walk and a run early in the morning, but not in the winter time. From there, I have the same breakfast every single morning, which is oatmeal with some coconut oil and a banana. That's my breakfast every single morning for many, many years, and I do not get sick of it, surprisingly. Then after that, it is time for exercise. I exercise about maybe 5 days a week, generally Monday through Friday, and it varies in intensity. This is something that I have to do as part of my morning schedule to feel really good about my daily routine and my life. So all of this generally goes until about maybe 8:30, at most maybe 8:45. Then after that, it is time to get to work. So the first thing up is stock trading. So I open up my stock charts here. I am looking at the various stocks using my screener and my scanner to find appropriate stocks that I will be trading for that day, if there will be any. And my trading style is something that I've developed over the years, and it takes a long time to really know what you're doing and to figure out what you're doing. The stock market opens up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, so that's the time that I have to have my orders in, and I have to have the list of stocks that I'm looking at for the day. Here's some example trades. Tesla, I'm scanning it. It gaps up over the previous day's price, and it kind of goes within a little bit of a range here. So I draw my lines as to where I'm going to buy it, where I'm going to sell it to make a profit, and where I'm going to sell it if there is a loss, if it does not go in my direction. And as you can see, it went in my direction, and I purchased it and I sold it for a profit. And here is another example of Palo Alto. I see a very nice consolidation for quite a while here. And as you can see, it's really in a nice little range. So I draw out my lines as to where I'm going to buy it, where I'm going to sell it. And I mark out multiple different lines because my strategy is mostly 2 for 1. I want to make double the amount that I'm willing to lose on the trade. In this particular case, because I saw that it was gapping up into a state of resistance, instead of taking a 2 for 1, I did a 1 for 1. And that's exactly what I ended up doing here. And it worked in my favor. So that generally goes until maybe about 10:30 a.m. Sometimes it can be as quick as like the first 15 minutes, 9:45, I could be done, really depending on how quickly I actually get filled on the trade and how quickly it reaches my target, which the most profitable days, it is literally within 15 minutes. On days that it's a bit choppy at times or it doesn't necessarily work, it could be half hour to maybe an hour just kind of watching it and monitoring it. Around 10:30 or so, I'm going to work on some of my other projects. So this can be video editing, this can be writing some scripts for my video, this can be website design, which is also another passion of mine that I also work heavily on, website design and programming. You know, I do coaching as well. I do life coaching one-on-one with other people for a variety of different things. This can be psychological problems that someone has in their life, if they need some sort of advice or some sort of other issue that they have that they would like to get resolved. Then usually around 11:30 or so, it is time for lunch. I spend a lot of time making food, and on the days that I have to make a whole new meal for several days, it can take upwards of 2 hours. So sometimes I need to start earlier. Sometimes it just takes so long to prepare some of these meals and to make them and everything. But overall, I make absolutely amazing meals. I really do. And then it's time to head out into the sun. In the warmer months, in the spring and summer months, I lay outside very, very briefly, at maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes most, on both the front and the back. I don't do that for any sort of tan or color or anything. No, I mostly do it primarily to get vitamin D, because I've stopped any sort of vitamin D supplementation and just relying on the sun as well as my diet and other foods that I eat. So this is probably the best way to get your vitamin D. And I was very hesitant to do it initially, but it's actually been really, really good, and I really enjoy it. Then from there, depending on how I feel, and I have found some things to actually resolve this, but a lot of times after I would finish lunch, my body would be absolutely destroyed. Literally for hours after I ate lunch, maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours, my body was physically incapable of doing anything. I could not think clearly. I had massive brain fog. I could not work at all. I was so extremely tired and exhausted. However, I have found some ways around that and found some things to actually help with that, because it was actually a lot of complex situations that were causing it. So sometimes, not all the time anymore, but I do take a very brief nap, usually after lunch. Sometimes it happens outside as well. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes at the most. And then I feel really, really good afterwards. But this is mostly now as needed, because I really don't feel the need to really do that as much now, because I feel so much better after I eat lunch. Then in the afternoon, after all the eating and the sleeping and the sun is all done, usually sometimes around 1, maybe even 2, it's time to go back to work, doing all my various projects, doing the one-on-one coaching, and this will all vary. My work for the day will vary depending on what the projects are, and just a variety of other factors at play that kind of make it a bit unsure as to what exactly will be going on for that time. And then generally, it is time to eat dinner. Sometimes it can be around 4, usually 5 at the latest. I will be eating dinner. And usually it's like some sort of leftover if I had already prepared something, or if I was making something, I would start it probably like at 2 or in the morning and just have it all prepared and then just reheat it for dinner time. And then it's time to do a meditation. A lot of times though, I've been finding that during the meditation, I end up falling asleep a lot of times for a little bit. So that tends to be a bit of a problem, but you know, I do my best to do the meditation for maybe 20 minutes or so, which is very, very helpful. Helps clear out the mind, all the clutter, all the other stuff that is going on. And then into the evening, I could be working again. I could be doing a bunch of other variety of different things. It really does depend. And then on certain days, gaming. I do stream games every Monday and Friday on Twitch, Asphodel Gaming. And I also have a YouTube channel as well. And that is always a lot of fun. Honestly, we have so much fun, and there are some crazy stuff that I say. Like, if you want to see my humor really shine and come out, that is the best place, because I'm playing the game and just, I don't know what the heck happens. All of this crazy stuff comes out of my mouth and I'm just like, what the heck? And we do some very nice impressions and impersonations of a certain famous doctor that we all love and that we all listened to and complied for so many years. Yes, we did. Oh, that's the only weapon you have? There's no machine booster? Find a machine booster, please. Oh, yes, that'll actually be really good to boost me. Now, I want you to boost me so hard because you have paid so much money to get boosted. I can just tell. Look how amazing you look. You've received at least 1 million boosters, I can tell. Now, pump me through, pump me full of a bunch of boosters, please. Okay. Oh, thank you. I love this. This feels so good. Keep boosting me, please. Oh, I love it. Oh, yes, I'm just being pumped full of boosters. Oh, yes, side effects. And that is a day in my life for the most part. You know, things vary. There will be different situations, but that is a standard work day for me. So this is a Monday through Friday activity that I do. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Share with me some of your activities that you truly like to do in a day. Share with me your daily activity, daily routine. Having a routine is extremely beneficial, so I highly recommend, if you do not have a routine, a schedule, get on one and you will feel much more motivated to exercise, to get your body moving, to get things done. I can assure you that. So you all take care, have a great one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.